Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome back to another Saturday afternoon live stream. It is beautiful here today. Low 60s, probably 62, 63 tops, nice and brisk, perfect fall day. Speaking of fall, we are on the tailway end of the new year, or of the year, right? I mean, wow, we got November and we have December left of 2025, and I don't know where this year went. It flew for sure. But anyway, here we are. As Jeremy would say, well, look at this. Another live stream. So, yeah, I got a couple of things to talk about today. Not a whole heck of a lot of important stuff, just stuff. Before we say hello in the comments, I made two subtle changes, and I want to see if those of you who are very perceptive in the audience can pick them out. One is something video related, and one is something audio related. I'd like to see if you guys how perceptive you really are, and see if you could pick that out. Now, when I say video related, it doesn't necessarily mean video. It could be something in the set, something in the background. And then I also did something with the audio side of things too. I want to see if you could tell a difference. So are you hearing anything different with the audio? And do you see anything different? Curious. Okay, and while we're waiting, let's go over to the chat and say hello to everybody. Grish had the first spot. He said hello all, but all of a sudden, for some reason, his chat has disappeared. So, but Grish did have the first chat. And Jeremy says, Grish is everywhere. Hope to be back home just after the stream starts. Awesome. So I'm assuming you're not working today, Jeremy? If you're going to be home this early, that's great. Thank you for joining. Grish, thank you for joining. Appreciate you guys for being here each week. Terrell, welcome. Terrell says, I can only listen for now. He's driving home. Well, thank you, Terrell. Listening, watching. It's all good. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Joe, welcome. Glad to see you here on this Saturday afternoon. Are you working today, or you have a day of leisure? Alonzo, welcome. Hello, watching on my cell, working outside, honeydew list. Yeah, I got that. I get that. I had my honeydew list this week. We had the house power washed. After we have the house power washed, I usually go around the house and we clean all the windows. So we did all the indoor windows. We did all the indoor cleaning of the windows prior to the house being washed, and then we waited for the house to get washed, power washed, and then I went around and I had to, obviously clean all the exterior windows. We have 28 windows on the first floor. I didn't even bother with the second floor, but that's done. So I understand honeydew lists for sure. Welcome. Awesome. Jeremy is here. Made it back for the countdown. Hey, Bluey, how are you? Congratulations on 25K, hitting 25K subs. You deserve it. An hour earlier today due to the clocks in the UK going back last week. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, our clocks go back tonight over here in the US. So we will be rolling the clocks back. So that means, I'm trying to think, we get an extra hour of sleep. Yay. Well, Bluey, I'm glad you're here. Sounds like the gate adjustment on the audio. Nope. That's not it. Looks like you increased the f-stop so the background is more in focus. Nope. Didn't change the backstop. Which probably meant turning the key light brighter. Nope. Didn't do any of that. I love it. I love it because I know it's going to bother you. It's nothing major. It's both things are very, very, very subtle. Again, if you're just joining, I put the challenge out to the group to say that, do you hear a difference in the audio? And do you see anything different in the picture, in the composition? I want to test how perceptive you guys are, because you guys tend to notice everything usually. So we'll see. Hey, Tim, welcome. Tim says, hey, everybody, just joined. Also forgot about the time zone change last Sunday. Fantastic news on the 25K subs. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Tim says, I think you have changed the camera lens. Nope. I haven't touched the camera. I haven't changed the lens. I haven't adjusted the f-stop. I haven't done anything with the lighting. Nope. That's not the audio that you're hearing right now, though. We're going to talk about that as we go through the stream. But that's we're hearing the RE320 right now. I love it. All right, we got 6 people here and 3 likes. So thank you all for being here. Home, you sound a little cleaner. New audio filters. Terrell, I have to say, I'm waiting for your, here it is. Terrell says he's home now. I sound a little cleaner. Wants to know if I have new audio filters on. So I have to give it to Terrell. Terrell pretty much hit the audio piece right on the nose. So there is an adjustment on the RE320. There's a physical button on the bottom of the RE320. Because this microphone is pretty popular when it comes not only for vocals, for voice, studio work, but also for being used on kick drums, on drum sets. And this week I decided to turn off or change the position of the button on the RE320, and I noticed a crisper, a little bit cleaner sound than when I have the button in the other position. And there's been this one frequency in my voice that no matter how much I try to EQ it out, it's always there, and it drives me crazy personally. And I said, well, let me see if that button makes a difference. So I flipped the button over to the other position, and I like the sound better. I don't know how much different it sounds to you guys, but Terrell, I have to give it to you because you hit it pretty much right on the nose. Now, let me flip the button back to the way I had been using the mic all along and recording, and see if you guys hear a difference. Hold on. If I can grab it with my nail. Hold on. Okay, I believe this is the new position that I've been using all along. I don't know if I moved it or not. And this is the original position. So this position here has that frequency in my particular voice that I don't like. So do you hear a difference between the microphone and the audio with the RE320 in this setting or in this setting? Which one sounds cleaner to you? I believe this is the one I started the stream with. I'm not sure now because I had a hard time with my fat fingers adjusting the button just a few minutes ago. So, but that is definitely the change for sure. Darn iPhone, can't hear or see anything. Welcome, TVJ. Glad you're here. Okay, so that was the audio, subtle audio piece. Do you guys hear a difference with the button in the different position? Tim says now. Do you mean no? This setting. Okay. All right, as far as the video, I'll let you guys keep weighing in on the audio. Jeremy says the new setting is cleaner sounding on my surround system. Cool. I will be listening while closing the pool, TVJ says. Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that, Jay. Yeah, I guess cleaner is the right way, is the best way to say it, because the other setting sounds a little muddy to me. And it's that frequency that drives me crazy about my voice. So I'm glad. Joe says I can hear less mids. Terrell's saying hi to TVJ. Enjoyed the stream the other night. Yes, Jay, that was a good stream. I did watch the rest of it the next day. Right, now is better sound. Good. Happy to hear that. Cool. We have 9 people here, 4 likes. Folks, go ahead and hit the like button for me. It does help out the channel greatly. I appreciate it. All right, now, as far as the video, as far as anything subtle in the background for you perceptive ones out there, very, very subtle. I'd be surprised if somebody picks it up. I really will. But I figured, I want to challenge you guys. Because sometimes you pick out the darndest things that I would never think you would notice. So I said, I'm going to challenge them this week. Okay. Yep, the 2ME was in the picture before. Haven't moved the rack, haven't moved the camera. And while you guys are weighing in on that, I want to mention that the channel did hit 25,000 subscribers Thursday evening, and excited about that. I was like, wow, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I would have 25,000 subscribers. Took me forever to get here, but I'm still here, and I'm thrilled, and I want to thank everybody who supported the channel over the years. I thought about toasting today. I actually still have my iced coffee in my Capture the Concept special streaming mug. I thought about having a little bourbon shot today to toast the channel with all of you, but I've been taking some tramadol for the last 3 days because I hurt my back during the week, and I was pretty much crippled on Thursday morning. So I don't want to mix the bourbon with the, basically, it's an opioid painkiller. So I will choose to just toast the channel with my iced coffee. So here's to hitting 25,000 subscribers. Here's to all of you for supporting me along the way. Thank you all. Okay, let's see. Light under the sign. Nope, that's not it. Terrell says blue lights by the floor. Nope, that's not it. They've been here. Tim says quick tech sign colors. Nope, they haven't changed. TVJ says blue lights on the floor. Nope, they've been there. 25,000. Yep. Yep. Appreciate it. Thank you all. Was the plant in front of the neon sign last time? Yep. Nothing's changed behind me. I love it. That's awesome. Taro says, ouch, I know back pain is, I have injured my back a couple times. Yeah, my back is very vulnerable, especially my lower back, Terrell. And I happen to pull it out 2 to 3 times a year. And when I do, I am usually down for a week to 2 weeks. This time around, Lisa had some painkillers left over from when she had her eye surgery back in April. And I was a little reluctant to take them, but because they weren't prescribed for me. But she's like, listen, I'm half your size in weight. She goes, if they prescribed them for me and I could take them, they're safe for you. So I started taking them, and thank God I have, because I'm able to move around a little bit. I still feel a little twinge every once in a while, but yeah, I know how I did it. I was in the attic this week, and I want to talk about that too with you guys, get your opinion on something. But I was in the attic pulling some electrical cable to get outside to the deck area. And right in where I have to step, there's so much of an area that in my attic that's plywooded where you can walk safely, and then obviously the rest is all rafters and insulation. And right where I needed to step off the plywood and get onto the rafters, there was a 50 amp circuit going across right where I needed to step down, and it was right at my waist height. So it's like it was a little difficult to step over it, and it was really difficult to step under it, but I had a limbo underneath it to get out onto the rafters. And then I had to also get underneath this big air conditioning truck that was kind of just swooping down. So I lifting it up and like scooting underneath it. And I think doing that, getting on and off the rafters and having a limbo underneath things in the attic was really what aggravated my back. So yeah, but anyway, I am on the mend, so no bourbon for me today. Let's say different bulb in the lamp. Nope, that's not it. 25K is a pretty great milestone. I was happy this morning hitting 8K. Yes, congratulations, Jeremy, hitting the 8K. As a matter of fact, you posted on Facebook the vidIQ milestone for hitting the subscribers. I've been checking my vidIQ account on my phone since I hit the 25,000 because I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to post it on social, and mine won't update. Mine still says, if I go to it, mine still says when I go to the milestones, I don't know if you guys can see this, probably not, but it says it's still got the 4,500,000 view hours or something like that. Yeah, 4,500,000 views that I hit back in September, but it hasn't updated to give me that banner for the 25,000 yet. So in any event, it is what it is, but we are there. We are, I think, at 25,012 at this point. So it's funny too, because a couple of years ago, contemplating the channel and what I was going to do with it and where I wanted to go with it, probably within the last 3 years, I actually contemplated hitting 25 and packing it in, like, saying, okay, it's been a nice run. I did this for 9 years, hit 25,000. That's a major goal. Time to pack up and move on. But I'm not doing that. I see a little life in the channel the last couple of months, and I'm still enjoying making videos. I'm still enjoying being here live with you guys on Saturdays, which is something that early on in my YouTube career I never anticipated I would be going live on a regular basis. But I enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoy being here. And I enjoy making videos, and believe it or not, I enjoy the editing process. I do enjoy trying to improve upon the last video with each video that I make. So, not going anywhere. I'm here for at least for a while. So, Joe says, sucks about your back. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But thank you. I'm having knee pain, so I understand. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Jay. vidIQ still can't believe you hit 25. Yep. YouTube's been nice to me the last couple of days. Pretty much every video that the last couple of weeks, pretty much every video that I've been putting out has been hitting 1,000 or better views, like within 2 to 3 days. So I'm happy with that compared to what it was doing. So I'll take it. Okay. Mr. Tim Tech says, I have even just watched your previous live stream and I still cannot see any difference between your last week one and this one. That is awesome. That's funny. Bluey says, is that another piece of equipment? Bluey, I should just give you the $25,000 giveaway package that I'm giving away next week. Yes, sir. That is correct. There was two switches up there. There was the Grand Stream switch on top, and then there was the Unify US 15 US 16 port 150 watt switch, and down below it now there's a third switch. I have the Unify 24 port switch. So I did some house cleaning in the studio this week, and I sat down for a good solid day because it was just a cluster F, and I needed to get organized. Even in the closet where the rack is, I have all these plastic bins with drawers, and over the years I would just randomly throw stuff in the drawers haphazardly, and then every time I needed to look for something, I was like, had to search through everything. So this week, I literally spent one solid day here in the studio organizing. I put everything out all over the place, and then I just started. I labeled all the drawers using that little labeler that Jeremy and I both have. That thing works wonderfully. All my drawers are labeled. Now everything is categorized. All my audio cables and adapters, all my USB cables and adapters, all my HDMI cables and adapters. Every drawer has a label on it, and everything is in its place where it belongs. So I'm really happy about that. And during the cleaning, I didn't know what I was going to do with that switch, so I just said, let me put it up top there. So, Bluey, congratulations. You figured it out. Awesome. Never give up, Tony. Tim says, never give up, Tony. We all have ups and downs with YouTube. Keep going for sure. Fantastic channel and content you have. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tim, as you do as well. $25,000 giveaway. Yeah, no, it's not going to be $25,000 giveaway. In fact, we're going to talk about the giveaway next. Yep. Congratulations, Bluey, again. Great eye. I thought for sure either Grish or Tech for Fun would have picked that out, because those guys don't miss a trick usually. Yep. Right on, Bluey. All right. So, as far as the giveaway is concerned, let me check the latest stats. I opened it up during the week. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'll put the link to subscribe in the chat. Let me just check real quick on the number of people we have signed up so far. All right, so we have 9 people registered for the giveaway. I will put let me grab the link. Hold on one second. Just bear with me, folks. Okay, let me get to here, and here. Let me copy that link. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 links in the chat. This is to register. So this is the giveaway registration. And then I'm just going to give you one more link to the rules for the giveaway. Technically, we're supposed to, post them, right? So I have them posted in a Google Docs, a shared, publicly shared Google Docs file. So be sure to scan the rules. Hope that's the whole thing. Let's just do this. It's going to be a long URL, but can't help that. All right. So there you have the giveaway link. There you have the giveaway rules. And I'm going to show you what we're giving away. It's going to be a package. It's going to be one giveaway, one package, one winner. Let me do this. Let me switch to this. So we are giving away a brand new EdgeRouter X SFP. Included with that, we're giving away a Ubiquiti Unify UAP ACLR. And included with that, in the package, we are giving away the UAP Beacon HD. So this is the package right here that you're going to register for a chance to win. The giveaway will be announced next week, November 8th, in the live stream. The registration period ends next Friday evening, November 7th at 11:59 p.m. And it is, again, open to everyone. However, there is a however. It's open to only the people in the U.S. will actually, if you're a winner and you're from the U.S., you will receive the package of gear. If you are international and you win, then you're just going to get a flat rate, a $50 PayPal payment. Now, I know that doesn't equate to the value of the 3 pieces of the package, but I'm not going to pay. I can't pay somebody like, $300 because they won the giveaway, but not to omit the international folks from registering and having a chance. I figured at least it'd be fair if they did win and it gave them a chance to participate in the giveaway. At least it's something in good faith. So, rather than just say U.S. participants only. That's just how I roll with things. So anyway, so that's the deal with the giveaway. We'll go back to the comments. Let's see what's going on. We have 12 people here and 7 likes. Awesome. Yep, it was a long time coming, Alonzo. Long time coming. Okay, so there's the link to the registration form to enter the giveaway. Here's a link to the shared doc on Google with the rules. And did I get a haircut? I did not. But I am due for one, probably this week. But I did not. Okay, I did update the laptop. I did update H2R graphics to the latest version. There was an update out there. So I'm hoping that might fix the problem that I've had in the last 2 live streams where towards the end of the video, once we surpass an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, the H2R was no longer taking in the feed of chat messages from YouTube. So I'm hoping that the update solves the problem, but I'm not sure that we're going to go 2 hours today to find out. So I don't know. But anyway, that's that. The other thing I figured I would bring you guys up to speed on, since I've been keeping you in the loop about a lot of things going on here, is I updated one more piece in the studio thanks to Jeremy being inspiration. So let me cut over to this. So I got an under the desk mount for my Mac Studio. So instead of it being on top of the desk or behind the monitor like I showed you last week, now it's cleanly mounted under the desk. So that's the view that I see. So I can easily get to the ports on the front. And then that's a little bit of a side angle view so you can see what it looks like from the side. It's basically 4 screws. It's simple to put together. It's simple to mount. And then there's the underside. You could see the hole in the bottom, and the Mac Studio fits nicely inside the mount so that the ventilation, the airflow is not obstructed. So that's my latest and greatest addition to what I made as far as changes in the studio as far as that's concerned. There is something I do want to show you guys that I'm kind of excited about. Let me just get out of here real quick. Let's bring this over here. All right, let me go back to here. Check this out, guys. Not only am I celebrating 25,000 subscribers, but a few of us have been added and named as technical reviewers for GrandStream. So this is the GrandStream Learning Center, the Learning Center page on their website. And if we scroll down, check it out. Check it out. Willie Howe, Tony Smeraldi, Dustin Casto, Jason Lehman, and Tim Everett. Now, if those of you who don't know, Tim is Mr. Tim Tech, who is in the chat. Jason's Lab, you know Jason from being here in the live stream and on others' channels as well. Dustin is the Home Network guy. That's another great channel. And there I am, right next to Willie Howe. So how psyched am I to be considered one of the highlighted technical reviewers for GrandStream? Found this out yesterday. So very cool. And congratulations, Tim, for making the list as well. It's an honor. It's great company to be in. So that's something I definitely wanted to share with everybody. So we got that. So Terrell says, nice giveaway gear. Thank you, Terrell. Tony, I think about entering. Tim says, Tony, I did think about entering, but then thought it's not really fair for me entering. For one, I sometimes get text sent to me for collaborations, as you know. Yep. I appreciate that, Tim. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I was like surprised when I got the email this week. And obviously I had to send in a photo, but other than that, yeah, I mean, that came out of nowhere. Super excited. Thanks. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. We're in good company there, Tim, for sure. Cool. All right. So I'm not sure where I want to go. I have a couple of things here. Update on the Rode Wireless Go. So if you were with us last week, you remember the microphone died on me early on into the stream, and then later on in the stream, the receiver died as well. And we were hashing it around and kicking it around saying, well, it's because I kept using the same mic combination with the receiver and, you know, so many charge cycles, not holding a charge, yada, 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 all that. I gave it a good charge this week twice. And like, in other words, I charged it fully. I let it run down fully. I charged it fully. I let it run down fully. And each time I did that with the microphone and the receiver, I got 5 hours out of the microphone. Again, just being left on and monitoring the battery time, obviously not talking in it and using it, but 5 hours on, and the receiver got 7 hours on. So I'm not really quite sure what happened during last week's stream. I didn't charge them after the previous stream prior to last week any differently than I normally do. So I don't know. I'm just going to chalk that one up for whatever. But in the meantime, thinking that my Rode Wireless Go kit was kaput, I went out and I bought this. Let me show you this. Hold on, let me just get it up on the screen. Here we go. Let's just go to here. So I picked up the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless microphone. Now it says for iPhone, camera, Android, PC. It's 48 kHz, 24-bit. It's not 32-bit audio. It's got a 300 millimeter range, so they're basically saying roughly 1,000 feet range. It does have noise cancellation, a noise cancellation feature. So I'll let you hear it in a minute, and then I want you to tell me if you hear a difference in the studio when I turn the noise cancellation on. So for $99, you get 2 transmitters, the receiver, and then you get a Lightning and a USB phone adapter, so you can use with your cell phones, depending on which phone you have, what type of port you have. So figured for $99, it was not a horrible amount of money to spend on replacing the Rode Wireless Go. So battery time on these, they say their battery time is rated at 10 hours. I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity to test them out for 10 hours, but I'm going to let you hear it now. So I'm going to switch off of the RE320 and switch over to the Hollyland Lark. Check. Check. Check 1 2. Testing 1 2. Check. Check. Mic check 1 2. So this is the Hollyland Lark M2. Here it is right here. It comes with a magnetic clip. Let me see if I can switch cameras and show you. My top-down camera will be a little dark, but if you look in my hands, here's the microphone here, and here's the magnetic clip. So it just goes, there we go. It just goes on the back like that. I got to get in the picture. There we go. So that's what I have on my shirt right now. How does it sound to you guys? Does it sound clear? This is with the noise cancellation off. Check 1 2, testing 1 2, check 1 2, mic check 1 2. And now I'm going to turn the noise cancellation on. Let me see if you hear any difference. Okay, now we have noise cancellation on. Check 1 2, testing 1 2 3. This is the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless microphone with the noise cancellation on. And this is the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless microphone with the noise cancellation off. All right, I'm going to go to the comments now. Do you have processing on the Hollyland now? So the only processing I have on the Hollyland is the same processing that is on, it's going through the SSL, my mixer. So it's going through the whole audio chain, my EQ and my compressor. So it's going through the same audio chain as the RE320. What I thought I would do is I have the Rode Wireless Go here. I thought I would do a comparison. So let me get the Rode Wireless Go hooked up to the actual shirt. Hold on 1 second. Check. check, check, 1, 2, check. Okay, so now you're listening to the Rode Wireless Go. This is the Rode Wireless Go as in comparison to the Hollyland Lark M2. How does it sound to you guys? Which one do you like better? Which one is clearer? In fact, let's do this. Let's go here and let's start a quick poll. Okay, so the poll question is going to be, which is better sounding to your ear, the Hollyland or the Rode? Okay, let's start that poll now. Weigh in for me, folks. We got 12 people here. Again, so now you're listening to the Rode Wireless Go 2. Check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, and now you're listening to the Hollyland Lark M2. Check, check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2. Let me know in the comments and through the poll which one sounds better to your ear. You could only make a choice, right? You could either say Hollyland or Rode in the poll, but then in the comments, let me know clarity-wise, frequency, etc. Let me know what you think. Give me a little bit more detail in the comments. Okay, let the poll run for a bit. And while we're waiting for the poll and some comments to come in, I don't know, let me just bring up this link. I want to share this with you. In case you are a YouTube TV subscriber, which we are, you might have heard a day or two ago that YouTube TV is in dispute contract negotiations with ABC, well, basically with Disney. And as of 2 days ago or yesterday, I'm not sure which day it was, we lost our ABC network channels, our ESPN channels on YouTube TV. So just here's a link. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to check this out. For yourself. I'm not going to read through the whole article, but I thought I'd just bring it to your attention. So yeah, the actual talks actually broke down, and the channels are actually off the air, off of YouTube TV. So if we scroll down and take a look at the affected channels right here, you can see all of the affected channels. So I'm hoping they come to a resolution soon, because I mean, we lost all of the ESPN channels among others. So anyway, quick update on that. Okay, let's go back to the comments and let's see what people are saying. Let's take a look at the poll. All right, so we got 7 votes on the poll. 71% of you say that the Hollyland sounds better than the Rode. 29% say the Rode sounds better to their ear. And again, it's all subjective, and I understand that, but I just like to get some different opinions and points of view. And again, we are listening now to the Hollyland with the noise cancellation off. Let's see what we got here. Tech for Fun says, sounds damn good. That's the Hollyland, better than the Rode. Jeremy says, I think I like the Hollyland better. Tim says Hollyland better. Jason's Lab says Hollyland. Jason, congratulations on making the technical reviewer list for Grandstream. I don't know if you were here when I just showed that on the screen, but I mentioned you in your channel. Mr. Tim Tech says Hollyland seems better, frequencies and range. Cool. Bluey says Hollyland sounds clearer. Wow. Here's the link to the YouTube TV article, YouTube TV/Disney dispute. Terrell says, I like the Rode. Seems to have a deeper bass tone, which I like. Okay, fair enough. Grish says, YouTube TV is just making full circle with what cable companies are. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Grish. Could have stayed with traditional cable TV if we wanted this BS. But anyway, they did have a dispute. YouTube TV did dispute with Fox earlier this year, but they were able to get that resolved before they pulled the channels. Not the case with ABC and Disney. So, Jason says, I use a Sony wireless pro mic. Awesome. Joe says, what do you think of the new Hollyland? So, I like, well, here, just take a look at the shirt, right? I like the sleek form factor. It's not intrusive as here's the Rode. It's big and bulky, right? Now, granted, I know you could put a wireless lapel plugged into that and put that on your hip, but from a form factor, I definitely like the Hollyland much, much better. Sound-wise, I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't know yet. I haven't really heard it enough to make that decision. All I did this week, I literally spent 5 minutes with it to get it set up and test it, and then plugged the Rode in, and I did like a recording, like a 2-3 minute recording, not even, maybe even a minute recording, where I was switching back and forth between the two mics to see if I heard a difference. So I really, to be 100% honest and transparent, I haven't put in enough listening time to be able to make the determination. But from a form factor, from a feature set, I think I definitely prefer having this on my shirt than this. So I'll let you know the answer to that question a little bit better next week once I've had a chance to actually record more with it and listen back to it. So thanks, buddy. My goal of 5K before Christmas subs could come true. Awesome. Thanks for the shout out and nice 25K subs to you. I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you so much. And thanks for being here to celebrate with us. Suggest putting the black sticker on the front that comes with it. Yeah, I was going to show everybody actually what comes in the box. So let me do that real quick. Let me get this off the air. All right, so let me switch to here again. So this is the packaging right here. So inside the box, you get this, which is a charging case. And inside you get, here's the second microphone or transmitter. And then you have your slot here for the microphone, the one I'm wearing. And then the transmitter goes right there. And then in addition to that, so you get the compliance paperwork, you get the quick start guide, and here are the dots that Joe's talking about. So you can put stickers on if you, I guess, wanted to hide the logo. And it also, like on a black shirt like I'm wearing, would make the actual microphone literally disappear. And there's white dots as well. Then you also get a "We Are Here For You" card and some more stickers. So you got some fun stickers, and then you got some black and white stickers. And then here, it's just the packing list, which I'm going to show you the rest of what comes in the box. So here, that's the Lightning. adapter for your phone, so you could use it with your phone. And here's the USB-C adapter. I haven't tried it yet with the phone. By the way, I'm still using it, so I haven't not switched back to the RE320 yet. And then you get a pouch, and inside the pouch, these are little windsocks. I haven't taken them out of the package yet. USB charging cable. And then you have the little 3.5 millimeter connector to connect the receiver actually into an actual DSLR or mirrorless camera. So that's everything that comes in the box. And plus, of course, the nice Hollyland carry pouch. So, does it sound? I'm going to switch back to the RE320. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Does it sound much different from the RE320? Because I remember you guys telling me way back when that I had the EQ and the effects set up so well on the Rode that it was hard to tell the difference between the Rode and the RE320. There definitely was a difference, but it was like very, very close. How do you feel about that with the RE320 versus the Hollyland Lark? Check 1 2, this is the Hollyland Lark. Check 1 2, this is the RE320. I'll stay on the RE320 for now. Okay. Let's go back. You could do smiley face one, yeah. No, thank you. Hey, David, welcome. No worries. Glad you stopped in. Glad you're here. Okay, so let me just go through my old-fashioned pen and paper list here. Gave you the update on the Rode Wireless Go. I did the Hollyland Lark. I don't know if you guys saw Lon Seidman's video this week. He did a video on your HDMI ports on your smart TVs snooping on us. Anything else, right? We have to worry about all our technology, cameras and IoT devices snooping on us, and now you got to start worrying about televisions snooping on us, the HDMI ports. So I just took a couple of screenshots from Lon's video. So the manufacturers use something called automatic content recognition, ACR, and they let you know about this. It's buried in their terms of service. You know, that thing that we all scroll through in the beginning when we set up a TV and we really don't read because you have to agree to it or you don't move forward, right? So, but buried deep down in those terms of service is this information on the ACR. So this is regarding Fire TVs. So when automatic content recognition is enabled, Amazon uses ACR to understand which shows, movies, and advertisements you watch on your Fire TV, smart TV, through connected devices such as cable box, set-top box. To do this, Amazon creates digital fingerprint of the content you watch on your TV from encoded audio or pixel samples of the content. So basically, what they're doing is they're monitoring what's plugged into your TV, and they're getting profiles on you of the type of content you watch in your household, and then they take that information, and they potentially can sell this to data brokers, and then places like you see things showing up on Facebook and all your socials. Well, now here's another vehicle for that to happen. So this is Fire TV. This is a screenshot of his, I believe this is his LG TV. And viewing information may be collected using automatic content recognition software. Again, to identify the content you watch, listen to your device, regardless of the source of the information, e.g. set-top boxes, gaming consoles, media players, over-the-air broadcasts, or other audiovisual sources connected to your device. So I believe that's LG. Here's Roku's statement. Again, basically saying the same thing. They take the digital fingerprints as well. And then this is Samsung's statement again. Now, it's interesting that Lon was saying in his video that it's not about opting in. Most of the time, ACR is enabled by default out of the box. It's going in and digging through the actual settings and opting out. And depending on manufacturer, he said, like with his LG TV, now he said it was an older TV, but with his LG TV, when he opted out and disabled ACR, it actually disabled all the smart apps on his phone. On his TV. So his TV went from being a smart TV to not being a smart TV. He said when he disabled it on his Samsung, he opted out of it, but he still had use of his smart applications on his TV. So it's pretty interesting that now it's just one more thing we have to worry about, right? And I think it's pretty shitty, to be honest with you, of LG to disable all the smart features if you choose to opt out. So anyway, that's one thing I wanted to share with you because I thought that was pretty interesting video. Also, I will put a link in the chat to an article on how to turn off, like where to find and disable the ACR features on various brands. So here's an article in the chat on that. All right, let's go back to the comments. Let's see. Oh, wow, we got quite a few came in. Did I strike a nerve with that article, with that topic right there? Let's see. Okay. Can I flip the RE320 switch again? Sure. Hold on one second. So I just want to check which position it's in. So this is the RE320, and now I just flipped the switch to the other position. Apparently this is the muddier sounding position on the RE320. So I believe the position that I just had it in is the position that you use for kick drums. Or I might have it backwards. It might be the other way around. But I believe that this is the non-kick drum position. Let's see. Terrell's saying hi to David. Terrell's saying I had to turn off ACR on my TV. It was messing with my Apple TV box. Interesting. David's saying hi to Terrell. Joe says they're going to see a lot of you and even more of Jeremy on my TV. I wonder what advertising bucket that puts me in. Funeral home ads. Here's the article with the information on how to disable ACR on all the different manufacturer brands. Please don't remind me of how fast that's approaching. Honestly, I'd prefer to be opted out of all smart features. I've I have always just used a Roku. Terrell says my Vizio TV in the spring had an update requiring internet just to watch over the air TV. Wow. And David says, I have not been able to discern sounds very well. Okay, I'm going to switch the RE320 back, Joe. I don't know if that was enough of sampling for you, but now it's back in the other position. Okay. And Alonzo says the Nielsen ratings has always been around. So, okay. So that's that. That's that. So I want to go to the deck update. I know I usually do that last, but I want to show you guys something and talk about something. Kind of chatted with Tim a little bit earlier in the week, but let me open this up. 13 people here, 8 likes. Folks, go ahead and hit that like button, please. Let me see if we got any more registrations for the giveaway next Saturday. Where are we? Where is Gleam.io? Let's see. Yep, we got one more. So now we have 10. So as of right now, your chances are, the 10 of you who entered, your chances are pretty good. Hopefully we'll get more before next Saturday. I'd like to get at least 25. So anyway, the Nielsen ratings, let's see. Now after my cataract surgery is complete, I am seeing like a 30-year-old again. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Tubi, Pluto, Fire Stick, they all collect data. Yep. Yep. Completed. I meant to type. Oh, okay. Yeah, the new setting on the mic sounds more like a condenser. I don't know if that's good or bad. Grish, thank you, Grish. I appreciate it. Alonzo says, I used Pi-hole to block ads from the service. Did not work. I have found Pi-hole to be hit or miss over the years. I'm currently not using it. And then I get to a point where I go, well, let me give it another try. And then I try it for a while. And again, like I said, because I find it to be hit or miss, I'm not using it anymore. Mr. Tim Tech says, I even tried opting out on my Panasonic TV and it too became non-smart with no apps. Wow. Yeah, I don't think that's cool on the manufacturer's part to do that. So anyway, all right. I want to show you I'll show you the update and the progress we made. We didn't make a lot of progress this week, but we made progress. But I want to talk about something with you guys. Get your opinions. All right, so here is the latest picture. And last week I had showed you we had gotten these angled support bars up on the deck. They were only tacked in. Now we have, if you look across this main beam here, the 2x8, now we have all the bolts through and everything supported, firmed up. Across the top here, we have, if you take the 3 vertical posts going up, if you remember, they were pretty tall. We cut them down. And now we have caps on the tops of them. So if you kind of look here, you can kind of see the caps on the top. The middle one's hard to see. Here you can see the one on the right a little bit better. So now we have the decorative caps on the top. Over here, up against the brick between the windows, you can see the electrical coming down. I'm going to go to a closer shot of that now. All right, so I told you I was up in the attic pulling electrical wire to get it to the outside. So we're going up, we're coming out, we're coming down. This here is a GFI receptacle. And then coming off of that, we have a switch and a receptacle. The receptacle is live, always live. Excuse me. The switch is going to send power to the fan. We're framing out the fan box right now. So we have to waterproof the top of it and everything to keep the water out. But so that's kind of where we are right now. Talked in the past. Let me show you something. Hold on. We talked about mounting a TV. So I want to show you what I plan on purchasing and where I plan on putting it. I don't know if I'm going to do it right away because we've been going through a lot of money lately. But let's see if I can find this. Give me 1 second. Just looking it up. Okay. So I'm going to purchase eventually this box right here. And it comes with a mount in it that swings out. So I'm going to put that. Where is it? There we go. I'm going to put that shell case over here on this brick wall between the windows, so that this way I could put an inexpensive TV in there, but it'll be in the case protected from the weather. And then when we want to take the cover off, we could just pull on that arm as a rotating arm. We could just pull it out and angle it however we want. And I'll have the plug right here to plug it in. So that's my plan with the TVs. And then when we're not using the TV, unplug it, push it back up against the wall and put the cover on, and it's secure from the elements. The elements we're talking about here in southeast North Carolina, we're talking about heavy winds and rains and lightning. We're not talking about snow or cold, anything like that. But still, I think the case is the way to go without spending, $3,000 or $4,000 on an outdoor rated TV. So for the time I think we're going to utilize it, for how much time we utilize it, I think that's the best option for us. Now, the other thing is I want to run, again, let me bring this up and then I'll share it with you. Hold on. Hold on, let me find it. I showed you this last week. This guy. This is where I'm going to want a little insight, a little help from the peanut gallery. Okay. I want to put this outdoor switch. It's a PoE pass-through switch. So I could power it off one of the switches in my rack using 802.3 BT. I want to put that switch somewhere over here on this, maybe below the outlet. Now, in order to do that, I've been looking at the different surge protectors. Now, surge protectors that these guys offer, they have an indoor, they have an industrial DIN rail surge protector, and then they have the outdoor waterproof protector. Now, the thing is, deciding on which surge protector, there's a couple of factors I got to take into consideration. In fact, I don't think it's going to be any of these because I need one that's 802.3 BT rated. These are AFAT rated. So that's the first thing. But Fast Cabling does have one that's 802.3 BT rated. So it's $118. Now, the caveat with that is it's indoors. So going back to my picture, what I want to do is I want to put one on each side. I want two of them. I want one closest to the outdoor switch, and I want one closest to my network rack. So I'm protecting on both ends, and I'll have them grounded, obviously, to earth on both ends. My dilemma is this. What you see here up at the top, that is about 55 feet away from my network rack through the attic, but it's a straight shot. I can get the cable out here, no problem. That's not the issue. The issue or the dilemma I'm having is the cable itself. So for outdoors, obviously I need a jacket that's UV rated, outdoor rated, right? That would be a CMX cable. The problem with a CMX cable is, even though it's outdoor rated, it's not rated for in-wall, like it's not CMR rated, like indoor running cables between floors or in ceilings and things like that. So, it would be nice if I could run from my rack all the way out to here, or at least out to the surge protector out here with the CMX cable, but I'm not comfortable putting the CMX cable in my house since it's not up to code, fire code. So now the reverse of that would be CMR. However, I don't want to put the CMR cable outside because with the heat in North Carolina, it'll chew up and dry up that jacket in no time. So then I thought about putting it in conduit. And since the surge protectors are indoor, the one that supports 802.3 BT are indoor, I figured right inside the soffit here on the inside, I would put one surge protector and the other one I would put closest to my rack. And that this way I could run CMR internally from surge protector to surge protector and then just patch it in to the rack. And then then it becomes, what do I do from inside surge protector, inside the soffit here to the outside? Do I just go with a CMR outdoor rated cable? Do I put it in a conduit? The other thing that complexes or complicates the matter is if you're running 802.3 BT through the cable, it's really preferred that you use Cat 6A, not Cat 6. And finding Cat 6A, it's just I could find Cat 6A CMR, but then patching it from the surge protector inside here out to the switch, it would just be Cat 6 outdoor UV rated. I can't find Cat 6A. So it's a whole plethora of variables, and I haven't really decided on what the best route to go is. And plus, if I put it in conduit, there's also the happy wife factor. This is already here. I have to make it look somewhat presentable. And I would love to be able to just come out of the attic with an outdoor cable in white that I could just run down with no conduit. So a hell of a lot of variables. I haven't figured out the best way yet to do it because of the challenges in finding the right cables, the right surge protectors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. I wanted to toss that out to those of you out there who also do the same kind of work I do or similar, and see what your thoughts are on this. So I hope I explained that well enough. And guys, just do me a favor, hold on 1 second. I will be right back. I just need to use the restroom. Be right back. Do I have a be right back graphic? I do somewhere. There we go. Media player 1, and let's see if I get it on the screen, if I did this correctly. Yep. Mute the microphone. Check 1, 2. Okay, I'm back. Should have audio. Yes. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. So, oh, and the other thing with the cable is, I did find one company, Primus, Primus cable. I don't know where they're out of, but they do make a CMR/CMX in one cable. The problem is they want to sell me 1,000 feet, and I don't need 1,000 feet. I need like no more than 75 feet. So I'm not about to buy 1,000-foot roll. So it's a bit of a dilemma. But anyway, oops. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So let's go back, see where we left off. Even tried my Panasonic, Pi-hole, David. Joe says to David, they can replace any other parts to feel like they're... Can they replace? Joe, you were too much. Alonzo says, I'm going to retire my Fire Stick. We'll switch to all Apple TV. It should limit some snooping. Yep. Especially if you're using a media type box like an Apple TV or Fire Stick or Roku, whatever. If you're using one of those, disable the Wi-Fi on the TV altogether. There's no reason for the TV to be connected if you're using a third-party device, because they usually make the connection to the internet. So, Alonzo says, I have Pi-hole on my IoT and security VLANs only now. Okay. Jeremy says Pi-hole released an update a few days back. They are up to version 6.2, 6.3, depending on which part of the package you look at. Okay. Pergola is looking great. Thank you. Yeah, the only other thing with the pergola, just let me show you this. I meant to mention. Hold on. It's not done yet. We still have, going back to this for a second. We still have the crossbars going across the top. So, okay, so you have the main beam here underneath. Then you have these 2x6 sculpted rafters coming off the house. And then going across those, we're going to have 2x2 strips going across, spaced every 5 inches on center. So we should get like a nice amount of shade Once those are in, the pergola will be pretty much done. I just got to then get the fan up, and we're going to let it dry for a couple months, and probably in the spring power wash it, and then put a stain color and a clear coat on it. But we haven't decided the color yet. So I forgot, I wanted to mention that it's not done. It needs the cross slats going across the top. You did the electrical. Yes, I'm doing the electrical. So that's how I hurt my back. Terrell says I'm at 6'3" and all but core is at 6'2". Okay, we're talking about pie hall. And the TV box is awesome, Joe says. David says, do you have a whole home surge protector in your main panel? You know, David, I don't. And I thought about doing that. I had one in my previous home that actually, believe it or not, that I installed. They're not that difficult. And I've contemplating doing it in this house. However, in speaking with an actual electrician friend of mine who works with me, he says they really aren't all that they're cracked up to be, and not to waste the money. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, I didn't realize. I mean, I put one in my other home thinking, hey, got my whole home from the panel covered. But so no, the quick answer to your question is I don't. And those are the reasons why. But I have contemplated it. Do the Ubiquiti Ethernet Surge work for that? I wouldn't use them only because I just hear they're not all that great. I used to use them with Ubiquiti stuff, but I wouldn't use them, especially with 802.3 BT power running through the lines. You need to have surge protectors that can support 90 or up to 100 watts. Jose Manuel Martinez, welcome. Does Grandstream have plans to put sandbox technologies into their firewalls? I do not know. I wish I had the answer for you. I do not know. Joe says, how about keep switch in the attic? How about keep switch in the attic and do waterproof patch panel? Outside, short outdoor Cat 6 to patch panel. Yeah, then I wouldn't need the outdoor switch. For that matter, I could just run off my main switch to an outdoor patch panel. Interesting. Something to think about. I guess what's the benefit of having a switch outside and not just jacks? Well, I guess just the convenience, but then just having jacks too would make sense. Although if I want to put an outdoor access point, I could run the PoE right off the outdoor switch. Well, yeah, I mean, half a dozen one, half a dozen the other. One gang patch panel. Running anything outside is a pain. There's just so many considerations that you got to, so many things you got to take into consideration. John Cena, you can't see me. Yes, I am a big pro wrestling fan. Bluey, have you considered GWN 77-1R for the outdoor switch? I looked at that. We talked about that a little bit in last week's stream. I know Tim has had bad luck with his. It failed on him. I know Jason's lab has had bad luck with his. It failed on him as well. So I initially started to look at that because obviously I wanted to stay in the Grandstream ecosystem, but I'm not comfortable buying something that I know two other people who have it has had it fail on them. So That's why I'm looking at to, the fast cabling option. David says I installed mine as well. The Surge Protector whole house. Hit like, folks. Thank you. We have 14 people here and 12 likes. I'm good with that. Appreciate all of you. David says I still use UPS units on all my critical. I still use the UPS on all my critical computer. Yep, but have the whole house as a backup. I did have to replace my whole home unit about 10 years ago after a severe thunderstorm. Yep. If I have to replace it again, I will get one that communicates with my security system. Cool. Awesome. All right. So that's the deck update. We talked about YouTube TV. We talked about the Rode Wireless Go holding its charge now. We did the comparison between the Rode Wireless Go and the L.L.C. Let me see what the poll. Now we got 10 votes, and the poll is 50-50. 50% of you like the Hollyland, 50% of you like the Rode. Interesting. Well, I'm going to end the poll now. I forgot to end the poll, by the way, last week. Talked about YouTube TV. We talked about, I gave you the link about turning off the ACR on the different manufacturers. We talked about Lon's video a little bit. GrandStream Learning Center. I showed you the feature where some of us are on the Learning Center page as highlighted technical reviewers. Showed you the Mac Mini. Showed you the mount. I showed you I talked about the H2R graphics, and we are going an hour and a half right now. We got 16 people here, and H2R graphics is still bringing in the YouTube chat. So maybe fingers crossed, maybe we did solve that issue with the software update, with the firmware update. And we talked about the giveaway. So again, just to reiterate the giveaway, next week, November 8th, during the live stream, I will be announcing the winner of the Ubiquiti package, the Edge router, the UAP ACLR, and the Beacon HD. One winner wins the whole package. Will ship to the United States only. If you are an international person, resident, and you choose to enter the sweepstakes, you will receive a $50 flat rate PayPal payment, just not to omit you from being able to participate. I did that, I do that in good faith rather than saying US only. Again, will be announced during next week's live stream. I will do the same thing that I did for the previous giveaway, which is I will pick the winner that morning prior to the stream, record it and edit the footage so that I could show it during the live stream. And I do that only to keep the winner information confidential, like the email address and where they're from, because Gleam, when they do draw the winners, it does show that information on the screen. So if I pick it ahead of the stream, then I can blur it out in my editing program. The drawing is going to be random, and it's going to be done by Gleam's random picker. The only thing I'm doing is blurring out the confidentiality information for the winner. Okay. Can I go get Alice? Tell me why you want to see Alice. Because if I go get Alice, I got to get Mouse. I think you're just trying to prolong the stream. Why do you want to see Alice, Joe? Anyway, that's everything. There was an article. Oh, yeah, there is one more article I want to share. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but since Willie has been doing some videos on TP-Link and whether or not they're sending data back to China or not, here's an article that I also found talking about that issue, and It talks about DUS wanting to ban TP-Link routers. So here's another something for you to read through in your leisure. So, because she bites my ears and I love her. Vote T9SE. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Tim. Alice, your dog. Yes, I have 4 Chihuahuas. There's the link. 1 of 4. Vote to see Alice. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I have all my dogs tattooed on my arms all the way up on my chest. Everything. I don't want to go down and get her. Let me see if Lisa will bring her up. Hold on. Can you bring me Alice? Okay. I sent a text to beckon Alice. Let's see if she shows up. You can have anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You have a Chihuahua Min Pin. Oh, wow. That's awesome. We had a Min Pin once. We rescued her, but then we had to give her back because she was honestly such an asshole. And we love dogs, but that dog had to go. You went to the bathroom. Why not do the be right back? Alice is my favorite. All right. I'm going to go get Alice. I will be right back. Those of you who choose not to stay, no worries. I understand. Those of you who want to see Alice, please stick around. I'll be right back. Here you go. This one's Alice, the white one, white and black one. This one's Minnie Mouse. Terrell says if they ban TP-Link, Walmart would be hearing, as that's my local store. That's what all my local store sells. All right. We got Alice and Mouse. There. Okay. Alice is my favorite. Mouse is Tony's favorite. Here they are. Everyone stays for dogs. Oh, we lost a few, but that's okay. The really question is whether the dog was named after Alice's restaurant or Alice Cooper. Neither. She was named after Alice Cramden. Jeremy, you should know that name. Some of the youngies might not, but Jeremy, you should know that one. I haven't had a dog in decades, but I did have a black cat I named Ozzy once upon a time. Yeah, these are just two of the four. This guy right here, the little one, she's literally 3 pounds. She's very, very tiny. Camera makes you look heavy, but she's very, very tiny. All right. So, let her bite your ears. Alice will lick my ears if I let her. Alice, Joe wants you to lick my ear. Good. Nope. She's camera shy, Joe. Loves them both. Aw. Both are, but I like the coloring on Mouse. Yep. One of these days, pow, right in the kisser. To the moon, Alice. 100%. Put them on the desk. I just got to watch my laptop. There you go, Mouse. I'm not going to put Alice on the desk. There you go. Okay. No worries. I knew what you meant. Wife, that is. Yeah. Thank you, David. So, come here, man. So, all right. On that note, we covered everything I wanted to cover. Make sure you sign up if you're interested in the giveaway. The registration period ends next Friday at 11:59 p.m. I want to wish everybody a good rest of the weekend. We're on our way to the holiday season now. Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, and Hanukkah and all the above. We're going to have some fun in the holidays in the Smeraldi house with the two puppies. We got two more downstairs, Sandy and Alice. They're a little older. They're getting up there in years, but they're still doing well. I want to wish everybody, again, a nice good rest of your weekend. Enjoy, be safe. Don't do anything that will put you in harm's way. And we will see you all next Saturday. Keep an eye out for the next video, probably coming out Tuesday or Wednesday morning. That's all for now, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you next week.